Hey, it's Tyrone Jackson from WITradeschool.com, wealthyinvestortradeschool.com, and I want to talk to you about a stock that I think you could help you make a lot of money in the long term. I've been getting a lot of questions about. But right before I get there, if you're watching this on YouTube, be sure to click that subscribe button, subscribe to this channel right now. That way, whenever I give you a new stock market update, you will get an email and you'll be able to follow along. And that's a good thing. All right, so let's get down to business here. One of the stocks that I've been getting a lot of questions about these days is, of course, Disney. Now, look at this picture here. Does this look like a stock that you really want to own? You're looking at a 1-year chart of the Walt Disney Company. Disney's ticker symbol, of course, is DIS. It's a member of the Dow Jones Industrial Average, and it's also a member of the S&P 500. Now, I want to help you make a lot of money through owning Disney stock in the next 36 months. But first, let's analyze this 1-year chart. You'll notice that the stock has gone up and then it has dipped down, which looks like a significant dip. And then we have what's known as retracement, and then the stock significant dip down, and then retracement has started again. And a lot of times when people are asking me if this is a good stock to invest in the long term, I have to remind them that you might be standing just a little too close to the painting. Because if you step back from a picture, even if it's just 10 feet, what happens? You get a different perspective, a different result. And if you look at the 5-year chart of Disney, you'll notice that it looks quite different, right? In fact, one of the things that I'm always pointing out at Wealthy Investor Trade School, that this stock has a tendency to double, and you'll notice in the last 5 years, had you purchased your shares down here at, let's say, even $30 a share or even $40 a share, you'd be up 100%. And this is why I recommend that strategy of building a position so you get richer as this Dow component rises. So I want to just give you a couple of facts about Disney and why this makes a great investment, and don't stare too close to the painting. First, we notice in 2013 the company made $45 billion on its top line annually, right? Great gross sales number. 2014, the company made $48 billion. And in 2015, the company earned $50 billion. That's why you're getting this overall chart that is filled with, like, some downturns and then all that retracement. But it's the way that we describe this is its overall trend is up. Now, you notice in the past year, here's that volatility pattern. Disney is going to have a high likelihood of resuming its upward trend because a lot of this has to do with the stock reacting to market conditions. Okay, so Disney also has pricing power, and they have multiple streams of income off of their movies. So you think about the Marvel movies that they own, right? You think about the Star Wars franchise. And I'm saying to you guys all the time, don't buy the stock unless you understand the story, because you'll ignore the long-term trend. And so Star Wars is not just about ticket sales, it's about what? Aftermarket sales, and it's about merchandising. So how many billions of dollars is Disney going to make off of Starbucks lunch boxes and shower curtains and costumes for Halloween? The merchandising generates millions and millions and millions of dollars a month around the world. Okay, so Disney also has pricing power, and here's the other thing that you really should consider for Disney for the long term is Disney Shanghai. That is about to open in China, and that is going to be huge. Remember, Disney also owns the ABC television network and hundreds of radio stations around the country. So it is huge. Don't let this pattern throw you, because it's the long-term trend that's really important that makes Disney what we call a hold. Okay, it's a long-term hold. And if you're a member of trade school, you know how I feel about stocks that cross 100 and how quickly they go to 150. So that strategy is also in place for Disney. However, I wanted to help you make some fast money by trading Microsoft. So Microsoft, notice its 5-year trend is also up. They're making most of their money from their cloud services these days. It's really not the Windows platform so much. The cloud services, that data storage unit I'm always talking about, really, really important. So I want to show you how you can use Microsoft as a trade, lower risk because it's also a member of the Dow Jones Industrial Average and a member of the S&P 500. And in this market, that's where you're going to be most conservative and actually really make most of your money because of implied volatility in the call options. But that's another story for another time. But I want to show you how I use Microsoft, and I'm really passing it on to all of my students as a number one trade. If it's a covered call, you can make money off of the stock every week if you choose, or every month selling covered calls. So I'm going to just show you really quickly the monthly covered call play. If I have $100, if I have 100 shares, obviously I'm interested in selling the call option that makes me money on a monthly basis. So the stock is at $55.57. I'm going to go out a month and sell what? Notice the 55 strike call, which brings in $136 per 100 shares. Or another way to express that, I'd be making a guaranteed, this is guaranteed money, $136 per 100 shares or per contract for selling covered calls against Disney. I'm sorry, against Microsoft. Now, if we go back to Microsoft, because of the strong upward trend, I don't mind if I have the money in my account to sell 10 contracts or calls against 1,000 shares. Look at this number right here. I'm just showing you what the market is showing. You get $1.36 per share or $1,360 just for selling the cover call against what? Microsoft, a stock that's in a strong upward trend, and now I can use this stock as a moneymaker on a weekly basis or on a monthly basis because A, I have that financial education, and it's doing what? It's selling cover calls. So if you don't know how to sell cover calls and pick good stocks, now is the time for you to get that education. Okay. So remember, with Disney in the 1 year chart, you might be looking too close, standing too close to the painting, because the 5 year chart is saying what? If you back up a little bit, it makes a real great long-term hold. Remember the buy signals that I talked to you about. Don't just rush in and buy a lot of shares on Disney. Obey the wealthy investor buy signals and you should be fine, because that'll keep you from putting too much money in the stock. If you don't know about buy signals, and if you really want to follow my weekly investments and trades and send me questions, and I will be able to answer them week by week by week as the market progresses, then you want to become a member of WI Trade School. So head to witradeschool.com. Remember, it's 80% videos. You can follow all of my strategies there, and I look forward to answering your questions. Don't try to trade and invest alone, because Trade School is here to support you.